everyone, welcome back to theclinicaltrialsguru.com. Again, that website address for you, if you don't already know, is www.theclinicaltrialsguru.com. And I've been sick for a while. Still, you could probably hear it in my voice for those of you who are long-time viewers or listeners. I've been sick, so I haven't been doing video, okay? But I've been getting tons of email, and I haven't been ignoring you. I've been waiting till I get a little bit better. Plus, I've been working on my Introduction to Clinical Research DVD, which, if you don't know by now, is going to be available in February of 2013, which is actually tomorrow. And it's going to be a game changer. It's going to be very affordable. It's going to be around $100. It's going to have 10 hours of content when you include all the bonus DVDs that are thrown in there. But the main DVD is 2 hours of just non-stop content. It's everything that a researcher would need to know about research, about clinical trials. It's meant for people who are brand new to research and want to learn everything there is to know about it, or at least all the important things about it, in 2 hours. So that's what I've been doing, and I've been sick, but I'm back. I'm going to get back to your emails. I'm going to be doing several videos today answering your emails. Today's first video is going to be addressing an answer I got, and I wrote a written text, a written blog post earlier in the week, so I'll link to it. But now I feel a little better, so I can do a video, because I've never done a video on this. It's what exactly is a sponsor in clinical trials? So if you're new to research, you're going to hear the word a lot. Sponsor this, sponsor that. What is a sponsor? Sponsor, very simply, is the person or the group or the company or whatever who is funding the study, paying for the clinical trial. So for the majority of the time, probably 80% of the time, it's a drug company, a pharmaceutical company, or a biotech company. A CRO is never a sponsor. The CRO is a CRO. They're not the ones paying for the study. The group who ultimately pays for the study is called the sponsor. They're the ones who write the protocol. They can contract the CRO to help them with the protocol and help them run the studies. But the one who pays for the whole study, in other words, the one who sponsors the study, is a sponsor. And they make it sound like it's a charitable thing, which in some cases it is. And if you look at the blog post I wrote, I'll link to it. When there's federally funded trials and academic institutions get involved, it is charitable, because there's some clinical trials are done where the outcome is never going to be able to be commercialized. This is the case with orphan drugs and things like that. But for the most part, most clinical trials are a business, and they are done because they want to be able to promote a drug and eventually sell the drug and market the drug. So a sponsor is anyone who pays for the study, sponsors the study, and for the most part it's a pharmaceutical company. It can be an academic institution that partners with a drug company, and these are done through the federally funded grants, which ultimately are sponsored by the government, taxpayer dollars, through the National Institute of Health, NIH. And sometimes the sponsors can be regular physicians who choose to do a clinical trial. They want to fund a trial because they're curious about something, or they want to see the scientific validity of something. But those are rare, or at least not as common. I shouldn't say rare. So for 80% of the time that you hear the word sponsor, they're referring to a drug company, a biotech, someone like that, who's paying for the clinical trial and paying to have the study done. Hopefully this helps. I want to give a shout out to my Clinical Trial Guru producers: Sarah Elizabeth Siegler, Resolve Research Solutions, Accurate Clinical Trials, Erdhart Clinical Trials, PTNR, Patrick Stone. We have Darshan Kulkarni, Biopharm Systems, Zymewire, Mozio, South Coast Clinical Trials, and Breakthrough Clinical Trials. Thank you very much. And as always, get in touch with me if you'd like to be a producer, down at theclinicaltrialsguru.com. Take care.